Hey guys, how we doing? We're back with another episode of Arselona, and since last episode, we've gone on a pretty decent run of form. We've played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games. Won 5, lost 1, drawn 1, which isn't too bad. And in terms of the league, keeps us in second place. And in terms of points, I think we're either level or just like a point off the top. But first off, I'll talk you through the games that we played. First, we played Bournemouth, and it was a pretty unspectacular game, really. Finished 2-1. We looked like we were going to be on top the entire game. It just took a while for Walcott to score a late goal for us. But nothing too out of the ordinary. Then we had a game against Liverpool where it was the same situation. We went 1 goal up, they equalised, and we pulled it back very late in the game. Then there was a game against Norwich where it was quite the opposite story, actually. It was a pretty shaky game. We went 2 up quite early, and then Norwich started playing some good football. They pulled on back late in the game, but luckily there wasn't enough time for them to get an equaliser. Then we played PSV in the Champions League, and it was a really, really annoying game because it was really tight up until Hector Bellerin got himself sent off, and 5 minutes later, just in the dying kicks of the game, Narsing went and put PSV 1-0 up, and there was no time for us to come back in the game, and unfortunately that really has ruined our start of the Champions League campaign. Off the back of that, we then went to Leicester, and Jamie Vardy did what he always does and banged goals for fun against us. We did manage to get the draw. Again, we went up, we let it slip, we went up again, and Vardy was there again to capitalise late in the game. Ozil had an absolutely brilliant game, getting a goal and an assist and walking away with a man of the match rating despite Vardy getting 2 goals. After that, we went to West Ham in what is, I guess, a secondary derby for us London clubs. Coquelin coming up with another goal this season, and an all-round fantastic performance. He was absolutely solid the entire game, and Alexis Sanchez also coming through with a goal. And it was a very, very good performance, almost very solid. Probably one of our most solid performances this season. And finally, we played a game in the Champions League and got ourselves a win. Finally, against Borussia Mönchengladbach, who, not the strongest team in the group, but they're not a bad side either. And it was nice to get a result. Monreal got himself sent off, which wasn't helpful. So we are in a sticky situation when it comes to fullbacks in the Champions League now, with both Bellerin and Monreal both serving bans, so we're down to bare bones in terms of that. But we got the 3 points, which puts us on 4 points in 3 games in the Champions League. So not the worst situation to be in. We can still qualify, but we definitely need to pull it out in the second half of that campaign. But enough about that. We now go into a match against Manchester City. But before then, I'm going to show you what the league looks like. And it looks like this. Yeah, we are level on points with Chelsea, and it's just goal difference at the moment. In terms of the season, my feel for the season right now is very much the same as how things are going in the Premier League right now in real life. In that there's not a lot in it, and nobody really seems to be keen to push on and step out ahead of everybody else. I don't know why that is, but it's going to be a very, very tight season. I mean, there's only 4 points between 1st and 7th. Again, it's still only a quarter of the way through the season, but you'd have expected maybe 1 or 2 teams to be maybe 3 points ahead of the next competitors. And that simply isn't the case. You feel like any game, anybody's going to drop points, and it's going to be an interesting season if this carries on the way it is. Hopefully we can capitalise on this and start putting a run of games together. None more so than this one against Manchester United, which could completely change the shape of that top 3. So we need to get some points here, give ourselves a bit of distance in this game. We're going to be playing this game, and then we've got 2 games against Tottenham Hotspur. So one in the Capital One Cup and one in the Premier League 3 days later. So we've got a pretty tight run of games here. 3 games in the space of a week. But we can definitely hack it. So let's get straight into this first one. Right then, here are the teams. And we've gone for Sanchez up front this game. Destro still hasn't really settled into the team yet. And we definitely need goals today. And I feel like Sanchez has got a better chance of providing that for us than Destro has. Although he may still get the opportunity to come off the bench, Sanchez is going to start. As usual, Cazorla and Ozil in behind him. The usual midfield 3 of Ramsey, Coquelin and Bazir. Bazir's one away from a suspension, which I imagine he's probably going to pick up this game. He will probably pick up a yellow card quite early on, as he does. But he's a very, very vital part of this team. Back 4, Gibbs, Koscielny, Laporte and Bellerin with Cech in goal. As for the Man United side, they're quite a strong one, but they've got a couple of players, I guess, out of position. Wayne Rooney is just nowhere near the squad. I don't know if he's injured. I didn't really keep up tabs on Man United's transfer activity, but Depay starts up top. Everyone else kind of looks a bit normal. Valencia out wide right. Daley Blind playing left back. He can play there. Obviously, his normal position is more of a central midfielder. John Stones starts for them as well. Chris Smalling, Matteo Darmian making up the rest of the back 4, and of course De Gea in goal. Right, then we are underway, and hopefully we can put our stamp on the game early and set ourselves on the way for a good result. Right, I'm in a bit of a sticky situation already. Both Laporte and Koscielny have been booked for fouls on Depay, and we're barely 20 minutes into the game, so this could be disastrous, really. But Mata swings in a corner, we get it clear, and as far as Valencia, out to Darmian. Can we keep pushing them back? Now would be a good time to put a tackle in and start a break. Ozil does so. Couldn't quite play it ahead of Alexis. Goes to Ramsey, out wide to Bellerin. Great counter. Alexis, he's hit the post and he's gone to De Gea. And it was a great counter from us, but we couldn't quite capitalise. Man United are now on the run. And Mata, his ball stopped out by Bellerin. It goes out to Blind. Bellerin couldn't close him down in time. Mata has a shot and Cech manages to hold on to it. And we'll go into the half level. Alright, not a terrible half. I mean, no team really looked like they were going to do anything in terms of the stats. No team's really standing out. So I'm going to tell the boys to go and give the fans their money's worth. Because obviously, you know, this is a game for the fans. There we go, a little bit of motivation for the boys. So yeah, let's go. Right then, Cazorla's hurt himself. He's twisted his knee. It's not really something I'm keen to risk. Apparently he can play on, but I don't want to. I'll bring on Oxlade-Chamberlain. He'll bring on a lot of energy as well, which would be good. Give him a little team talk. Yeah, tell the boy I got faith in him, of course. Right then, so that's Chamberlain on, Cazorla off. A forced substitution, but one that I'm not too upset about having to make, quite frankly. It's a like-for-like swap and a very, very good player. This one, however, is not one that I wanted. Mesut Ozil picking up an injury, and he's a much harder player to replace in this side. Now, I could go about this 2 different ways. Well, quite a few different ways, actually. I could bring on... I could put Ramsey up there as a playmaker. He does play that role perfectly. I also could drop Alexis Sanchez back into Ozil's role and put Destro on. Or I could put Jeffrey and Adelaide on and keep everything else as it is. I guess... in the interests of... Oh, I really don't know actually, because if I put Ramsey up there, I don't really have the personnel in central midfield to do that, so I'm going to rule that one out. I could put Oxlade-Chamberlain in there, but then that requires, you know, a different substitute, which doesn't really change anything in that sense. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Sanchez where Ozil is, and then I'm going to take Ozil off and put Destro on, and play Destro as his preferred advanced forward role, and just hope that he comes good for us here. Confirm changes. Passionate. I think there's a lot more to come for you, and I completely believe you've got what it takes. Absolutely. Come on, guys. Hopefully that injury to Ozil is not going to keep him out for too long, because he's an absolutely key player in this side. We're really starting to pull ahead of Man United in terms of the stats. I'm keen for this to continue. However, Martial's going to look to launch a breakaway here. Laporte is watching that area quite keenly, and it came to nothing in the end. They got the shot away, but Czech was more than equal to it. And I think we need to try and get something now. So we're going to go on the attack, because Man United haven't really been doing too much. They've been trying to get us uncounted to no avail. And I think if we put a few more numbers forward, we can really put some pressure on them. However, Kieran Gibbs has just got himself a yellow card, which is not ideal. And I think if we get to 80 without anything really happening, I'm going to make a sub. And just, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make that sub now. I'm going to bring Monreal on for Kieran Gibbs, just because they will want to attack down the wings. And Kieran Gibbs is tired and booked, so I think that is just the smart thing to do. Alright, still quite uneventful in terms of highlights. De Gea now playing out to Smalling. Jones is going to look to come down the wing. Does so, but Czech is out quickly to it. Luckily deals with it. It's a pretty good thing that Young didn't actually follow up on the pressure. Alexis beats Schweinsteiger in midfield and finishes. What a great goal that is. And there's 100 goals in his career, and what a time to score it. Late in the game against Man United, 1-0. We're going to go back to control, and hopefully that is enough to see the game out. Don't want to risk too much in terms of letting them come at us, but also not too much in terms of going forward. But Chamberlain now, oh, he could have gone on the break, but that's fine. The whistle's gone. We've ground out a 1-0 win against Manchester United. And at least for now, that puts us top of the table. That's fantastic. Hector Bellerin, man of the match with a 9.0 rating. Alexis Sanchez with an 8.4. Aaron Ramsey with an 8.7. And all round, a pretty solid performance from the guys. And passionately tell them it was a very nice victory. Well done. And yeah, everyone's happy. And none of them more happy than me. Right then, on the right you can see that's what that table now looks like. Obviously we played the early game, but that puts us 5 points ahead of Manchester United, which is great. Chelsea have now got it all to do in terms of catching us. Obviously if they win, they will go top on goal difference. It would be great for them to drop points, because obviously that gives us a bit of breathing space, but we'll see what they get up to. Right, this is the news we didn't want. Ozil is out for 5 to 6 weeks after straining his knee ligaments, and Santi Cazorla is out for 2 weeks with a twisted knee. Not ideal, as they are my two key attacking midfield options. Obviously Sanchez can come in there and do a great job, as can Oxlade-Chamberlain, but again it leaves us down to bare bones with you know, the likes of Fossum are going to have to come into the team now. And Ramsey might have to start playing up there as well. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that changes the team dynamic. But at least for 2 weeks we are considerably weakened in that area. Well, great result for us. Southampton managed to do the business against Chelsea. Chelsea losing 2-1. And that puts us clear at the top of the Premier League. And let's have a look at that. We are 3 points away from Chelsea. And West Brom are in third on 18. Villa also level with them on points, just behind on goal difference in fourth. And that's quite an interesting dynamic, and one that I'm quite keen to continue, really. The more smaller teams that there are separating us and some of the bigger sides, obviously smaller teams will start to fade away towards the middle and the end of the season, but it allows us to hopefully be in a position where we can pull away and establish a gap between ourselves and the rest of the pack. Right then, here we are playing against Tottenham Hotspur. We skipped past the Carling Cup game just because it wasn't ever going to be much of a spectacle, really. I rested pretty much everybody, and we lost 1-0. It was a pretty uneventful game. Their goal was actually quite good, as much as I hate to admit it. We'll bring that up right now. So, yeah, they worked it around quite well towards the edge of the box. Pritchard with a good cross. Son Heung-min finished off a very good team goal from them. And that was pretty much all that happened in the way of highlights. Like, I mean, you can see the bar at the bottom of the screen right now. There was one more highlight that showed up in the first half, and literally nothing else other than a couple of bookings in the second half. I mean, there were obviously some chances, but nothing of note. And yeah, so we didn't win that game. Yeah, but this is the one that really matters. We're playing against Tottenham at White Hart Lane in the league. Currently, we are 2 points ahead of Liverpool now, who are our closest challengers after Chelsea dropped points in their game. So there's still a bit of leeway. If we get a point, we still will sit top, regardless of what happens. But realistically, you want to go to White Hart Lane and stuff them. And hopefully, having rested the starting 11, we should be able to get a result here. So, this is the side I'm going with. Cech, Gibbs, Koscielny, Laporte and Bellerin making up the defence. Berserk, Coquelin, Oxlade-Chamberlain in central midfield. Ramsey and Sanchez in behind Olivier Giroud up top. Giroud won't be at the club much longer. I've agreed a transfer for him. I don't really want to use him. I'm not going to use him in the long term, so I got a bit of money for him. He's on the decline anyway, so I'm never going to get that much for him. I've undersold him, but it'll allow me to get some money in and hopefully give me the funds I need to snipe some youngsters when the youth intake comes in. But yeah, it'll be useful for now. Hopefully he'll be able to cause some problems and bring in Ramsey and Sanchez. It really is a case of means to an end right now. In fact, I'm not going to play Destro either. I'm going to bring Walcott on. He's only just come back into full training, but I think he's going to be more dangerous than Destro. I mean, as it stands, I mean, they've both got the same amount of goals, so there's no real difference the way I see it at the moment. So, hopefully we can get a result here. I mean, Tottenham are going to be playing a stronger side than they played. Obviously, we're playing a stronger team too. So, it'll be interesting to see how this game goes, but I really think we should be looking at getting the result here. Right then, so here's the side that Tottenham are putting out. And, right, so here's the side Tottenham are putting out. And it is a pretty standard 4-2-3-1. Stronger players are playing this time. Obviously, Lloris in goal. I think Danny Rose did play the game in midweek. But Ericsson also played as well. Chudley, Lamella and Kane make up the rest of that attacking unit, shall we say. Bentaleb and Mason in midfield. Decent players, but really and truly, with the likes of Sanchez and Ramsey, we should be looking to overrun those players. And I'm hoping that Giroud, while he's not going to be doing much in terms of running in behind, he should be able to give Vertonghen and Alderweireld something to think about. Right then, so the North London derby, the one that matters, well, one of two that matter, obviously the ones in the league. We're here at White Hart Lane. I think this is the one that I'd prefer to win. Realistically, it's always nice to beat Tottenham on their own patch. So hopefully we can really pull out a great performance today. Remains to be seen how this is going to go. But Tottenham are always that team that they very rarely play well, but they can always seem to get a result out of nothing. So hopefully that doesn't become the case today. And hopefully we can really stick it to them. Well, Tottenham have had definitely the lion's share of the early attacking threat. 4 shots to our 2. Nothing's been on target yet from either side though. So, but they've got a throw-in deep in our half. Can we dispossess Ericsson? We can. But we get dispossessed again. Gibbs really should have got rid of that straight away. Gibbs makes another tackle and does get it clear this time. But Tottenham are still on the attack here. And we get it away from Kane. Ramsey finds Giroud now. Giroud's out wide. Can he hold it up? He gets into the box. He has a shot and it's wide. But something of some promise at least. We can definitely break on this team. I think it would have been better if we had someone quicker than Giroud doing that. But such is life. However, the ball goes into Gibbs. He has a shot. It's saved and it's clear for a throw-in. We're starting to put something together now, which is good. Alright, Gibbs now with a throw-in. Finds Coquelin. Out to Laporte. Back out to Gibbs. What are we going to do with this now? We're keeping the ball quite well. Alexis now finds Giroud. Who can Giroud bring into play? Alexis picks it back up. Plays it out wide to Bellerin. Definitely a danger man. Cuts inside into the box. And has a shot. And I've set him to shoot less. But he's still having cracks when he gets into the box. Which, I mean, you can't fault. But I'd rather him give it to somebody else a little bit more capable. However, we go into half-time level. And definitely something that we can build on in the second half. Right, and the second half's underway now, and hopefully we can really go on and build on what was a pretty solid first half, realistically. We need to try and get more shots on target and give Lloris something to actually do, but this is definitely a game that we can win. Well, I've just gone attacking just to try and put a little bit more pressure on them. Could backfire because they are having quite a few shots. As many as us really. There's only one in it, so I hope we don't kind of throw caution to the wind too much, but we definitely need to try and make something happen here. And Cech makes a great initial save, double save from an early bit of Tottenham pressure, and suddenly they're getting shots on target, and this doesn't look quite as comfortable. Alright, we've got a little bit of an injury, but Alexis puts the ball into the box and Gibbs scores, and now we can make the sub. But we are 1 goal up, and at a crucial point in the game when you start looking at addressing things tactically, it's nice to go a goal up there because that's going to put Tottenham in a position where they want to make things happen, and it's not going to be easy for them. And as you can see, we've brought on Theo Walcott for Olivier Giroud, and that could be decisive for us, especially on the break. Because he's going to be a lot quicker than Giroud and have a lot more to offer. So I'm going to change his setting though to an advanced forward because I think that suits him a lot more. Theo Walcott, let's see, what can we say? Assertively, I want to see a good performance from you today. I think that's fair. North London derby. So yeah, there we go. Gibbs comes up good. Well, we've gone back down to control, and hopefully that means less opportunities for Tottenham. They are starting to rack up the shots, of course. 10 with 5 on target, so they're starting to be a little bit more, I wouldn't say decisive, but there's definitely a bit more intent in what they're doing now. Obviously, they've got the game to chase, so we just need to not go defensive. I don't like going defensive. I think it invites way too much pressure. But just make sure that we're a bit more sensible on and off the ball. Late substitution, 18 minutes to go. I'm bringing on Ivor Fossum to replace Oxlade-Chamberlain. The Ox is getting a bit tired now. Had a decent game, 7.1 rating. Obviously run himself into the ground. not too worried about bringing him off and bringing Fossum on. Just some fresh legs would do well. I think with Gibbs being tired and booked as well, Nacho Monreal makes sense as a substitution as well. So we'll bring them both on and hopefully see the game out. Right, then the clock is running down, but Tottenham do now have an opportunity. They've been doing a lot since we got the lead, but Laporte with a great header to clear that. Ramsey can get that to Walcott now. Walcott finds Alexis in acres of space. Can he kill the game off? He can't. Fossum tries to, and I think that was saved. Yeah, he didn't blaze it over the bar. It was a good save from Lloris. Walcott puts it into Dyer. We get another corner. If we can keep the play up in this part of the pitch, that'll be absolutely fantastic. And Alexis picks up on that again. Beats his man. Beats two. Gets the cross in, and Lloris holds that. He's going to want to get that down the pitch quite quickly. But hopefully, that'll be the last action of the game. We lump it long. Ramsey picks up on that. Can he play someone through? Fossum plays Walcott in. Walcott would have been offside anyway, I believe. But that's the end of the game. We managed to get a very, very hard-earned 1-0 victory against Tottenham in the North London derby. Great result for us. We're grinding out a lot of 1-0 wins, which I'm not too fussed about, really. We're playing good football. We're getting the results we need to. And I think this first season is just about making sure we get things right, we get the results right, and build a very strong team in order to build the future on solid foundations. And we're doing that quite well. You know, we're winning games by the odd goal and stuff, but we are being very, very solid, not conceding a whole lot. And yeah, we're giving youngsters a run out, that sort of thing. And I think as time goes on, we'll be able to kind of experiment with tactics a bit more, try and see if we can get more goals and stuff. But right now, the points are all that matters. We're getting them. We're playing good football. 1-0 against the Spurs. Yes. And that's how the table looks now. We are 5 points ahead of Liverpool. They've got a game in hand, though. So it remains to be seen how their result goes. But it does put us in a very nice position going into, I guess, what you could refer to as the winter run-in. We're just over a quarter of a way through the season. And to have a nice lead in terms of points, to start stretching our legs a bit, I think it's a good look for us. As you can see, the goals conceded, we are third best in the league in terms of that defensive record. So it's not looking too bad for us in what I thought was going to be a very, very difficult season. But yeah, this result, very, very good one. The result against Man United as well was also very good. And I'm quite happy with how things are going. Giroud is out for 3 to 4 weeks after that game. Unfortunate in that he does give us at least rotation options. So, I mean, that does bring us down a little bit more again, which isn't ideal, let's be honest. But not much we can really do about it. He's out for 3 to 4 weeks. I'm not going to force him to play in the Champions League. I'll leave him to the physio. I don't like aggravating injuries, especially at Arsenal. But yeah, such is life. Right then, thank you for watching. That's it for this episode. 2 solid wins in the league against 2 very important teams in terms of opposition. 1-0 against Man United and Tottenham. We're going to skip ahead again. The next episode, I will probably try and bring you a double header of Chelsea and PSV. So we get a league game and we get what will probably be a very decisive Champions League game, the last one of the group stages. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. And then after that, we'll probably skip all the way through to January. So this will be the last game before the transfer. The next episode will be the last episode before the transfer window. But if you enjoyed this one, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you think of the team. What you think we should be doing going forward. Whether you're enjoying the tactics, that sort of thing. And just in general, any suggestions for the series. But that's it for now. Thank you very much for watching, as always. And until next time, take care of yourself. Peace.